What's going on, y'all? This is the Divinity Trying to be Liberty, 1/3 of the Heralded Trinity, known as Through the Hard Way. We got another great, insightful video for you all, but before we get into all that, it would be greatly appreciated if you all could subscribe and follow all of our social media handles listed below on your screen. With that being said, let's get it popping. Boy, we got some things bubbling and brewing at 140 today. And I mean, it's hot fire. There was an epic back and forth today between two of my favorite fighters at the moment, both 140-pound champions. IBF champion Richardson Africa Hitchins and WBA champion Antuanne Russell. And this doesn't come as a surprise considering their long-standing history dating back to their amateur days. Antuanne Russell beat Richardson Hitchins 4 times in the amateurs, including 1 time during the 2016 Olympics. But before we dive into things, let's have a little recap at their Twitter back and forth. And there we have it, y'all. As we all know, where there's smoke, there's fire. But how real is this smoke? I mean, literally, Africa Hitchins has not called out Antuanne Russell's name in more than a year since before they were both crowned champions, as evidenced by this video.
Is there a dream fight at 140 that you like, yo, I gotta see this guy before I leave the division?
I think me and Gary Russell is gonna be the biggest fight in the division. I think when me and Gary get the belt and we unify, I think that's gonna be a big fight. I think the run back from the Olympics, I think a lot of people are gonna want to see that just because we have history, and I feel like we the most. I want to say that I'm not saying I know the whole 140 division. I feel like me and Gary is the most talented from what I.
And Hitchins is definitely right in his assessment, as he and Antuanne Russell are definitely the most talented champions in the division now, and that's even over Teofimo Lopez, who happens to be lineal champ in the division. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it. For Africa Hitchins to even mention to Antuanne Russell that he needs to get his name up is downright disrespect, considering that he only has a George Kambosos Jr. on his resume who's overweight and over the hill. And since becoming IBF champ, and prior to this Twitter spat with Antuanne Russell, Hitchins has only called out Teofimo Lopez and the so-called winner between the 147-pound division winner between Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. The junior welterweight division happens to be one of the deepest in boxing, and only will get deeper with the likes of Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson joining the fold. And therein comes the problem with modern-day boxing. We respect them as gladiators and warriors, but prize fighting has become the premise, and legacy no longer matters. Let's see both of these guys put their words to actions, as boxing needs unifications and the best fighting the best.
As you can see, science is my life. Now, any questions?
And that concludes this video. If you like what you saw, please continue to support our channels on social media. Give us a like so we can continue to keep bringing you great content. God bless.